Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video, and welcome to the start of a brand new adventure. Okay, so if you have been following along, you will have known that I just finished leading a workshop in Namibia, which was a wonderful experience. I haven't had a chance to look at any of the pictures yet because I just came straight here. But pretty much now I am charged with leading a second workshop here in Botswana. So I am currently in Zimbabwe and in Victoria Falls. For this week's video, we are going to keep things nice and simple. Tomorrow morning, we head to the mighty Victoria Falls, or the smoke that thunders. Tomorrow evening, then, we have a river cruise where we are pretty much going to get straight into some more wildlife photography, so I'm super duper excited. And then after that, then we pretty much hit the road to kind of get into Botswana, and that real adventure begins. So lots and lots of awesome stuff to look forward to. It's warm though, wow, it's humid. So in about maybe 40 minutes, going to do the kind of hello there meeting, and then I have dinner booked and our transport booked to take us to dinner, and then and then we're going to get going. And this is a long intro, so if you've made it this far, fair play to you. Let's get ourselves situated, organized, and go have some nice dinner, and then let's go look at some mighty falls tomorrow morning. Let's get going. So we have made it to the smoke that thunders, and it is truly a sight to behold. Wow, holy moly, it's absolutely fantastic. I am up on a platform now overlooking this absolutely colossal falls, and it is really fantastic. Toyed around with a couple of test shots, now settle on my 6th stop, so I'm running at about half a second exposure, and I am delighted. It is so beautiful. So fingers crossed. But anyways, if any of these kinds of first shots turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now. Welcome friends to the ASMR photography studio, and welcome to the first set of images in this week's video. Now, as we kick off the bunch here from the absolutely mighty smoke that thunders, this first image is very just throwaway. I literally just wanted to put this in here to kind of just to give you the point of view that I was looking at when I was standing at this particular viewpoint. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, as we move on, I tended to push in a fair bit to try and focus in on some of the details. This particular shot I really like. It's just one of the cascades, probably one of the more powerful ones from the end that we started at, and it just gives a nice kind of frame and perspective to what we were looking at. If you've been watching along for a long time, you know I love the juxtaposition between the force of water and then like solid rock, and I really love that about this image. It really has that kind of contrast between this powerful motion and of course then this rock that is just unflinching. And again, this next one here is just a bit more of a detail shot. I just wanted to punch in and just kind of show a bit more detail of the falls themselves. Anyways, delighted with how all of this started, so let's push on. Well, there is simply no denying how incredibly awesome this place is. Last time Orla and I were here 20 odd years ago, there was a sliver of water, not like this. This is absolutely incredible. Oh my God. It's wonderful standing in awe at the power of nature, and it will always amaze me, and I'm so grateful to be here. So let's continue. There's a lovely bunch of kind of viewpoints along this path. as you can see here. Let me turn you around. So you can see there's a path, and it basically goes all the way around, and it's, you know, very easy going. It's all very accessible and safe and everything. It's wonderful. So our aim of the game is just this morning just to hop along some of these viewpoints. We have to be back at noon at the meeting point to, you know, get our lift back. And so just going to wander and see what we can do. I'm really liking these long exposures. Future self Neil, convert some of them to black and white, because I really feel like some of them are going to absolutely bang as a black and white image. But let's continue on and keep shooting. It's absolutely fantastic. So as we explore the absolutely wonderful world of black and white, these images for me really excel in black and white, and I adore them for that. I decided to crop this quite letterboxy. There was like the top of the falls at the top and then some bushes at the bottom as well, but for me I love this kind of thin strip, this veil of just motion and contrast, and I really love that about this image. Super delighted with how this one turned out. And again, I tried to, you know, emulate that previous notion by getting rid of the sky. It just adds a bit more kind of abstractness to the frame, and I really love that about this particular one too. But for me, this next one is probably my favorite one, just because it shows just more of a grander scale in relation to the falls themselves, and I really love that deep contrast in those blacks and those whites. It's so beautiful. And if you've obviously watched last week's video as well, you'll know that that black and white experiment really helped shape how I envisioned these particular images, these longer exposure images, and I'm super delighted with how they turned out. So one of the challenges here that you have to kind of take into consideration is the foreground. So there's lots of kind of jutting out kind of foreground. So let me turn you around here, for example. So you see the way you've got this kind of stuff. Now I've moved on a bit from the main kind of areas, and like I was discussing with some of the guys there, you either kind of zoom past it or you embrace it. So I was playing around with a few kind of focus stacked images and just, you know, wider shot. I like the idea of the, you know, unmoving foreground to the constantly flowing kind of background. So we'll see if they turn out to be any good. But they, you know, they should be nice, because I think you could take a picture of anything here and it would be deliciously beautiful. So yes, if any of those pictures turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now. So again, here's this idea that I mentioned of this unmoving rock, you know, backgrounded by this colossal fall. I did focus stack this image. I just kind of wanted to make sure I had that sharpness from the front to the back. It's not much. Again, it's more of an example of the kind of things that you need to overcome when you're on these particular locations, because it's quite cliff edgy. You have to stay behind the barrier, so you're kind of stuck within, you know, what you can capture. So taking that into consideration, when you punch in then like this image, you're really able to kind of tell a bit more of a better story in relation to the falls themselves and the kind of power that they hold. I really love that about this particular image. It's shot quite fast, and I really love that freezing of motion. Again, it just really helps emphasize this tundra of water, and I absolutely adore it for that. So super duper delighted. So as you can see, we've kind of reached a bit of an end point. It dries off so quickly. We're here pretty much at the beginning of the kind of wet season, we'll say. So you could imagine this fall's just being colossal. But you know, like I was saying, it's kind of a happy balance though. While you don't get the full scale of the falls, if you were here on any other kind of wetter season, you wouldn't see them anyway, because it'd be just so misty. So, you know, coming here at this time of the year is nice for that. You kind of get a bit of a happy medium in the shots. But sure, look, we're pretty much going to wrap things up now, because we only had about 2 hours-ish or so here. We have a bit of a time crunch because we've got that boat cruise for later on. So I am just going to slowly amble my way back to the the starting point, just to make sure everybody makes it back on time. But wow, this has been just incredible. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's just, wow, it's the kind of stuff that would make you want to come here all the time. It's just so beautiful. But onwards we shall go. So let's head back, meet up with everybody, hop on the bus, get a few bits and bobs organized, and then we have a river cruise organized where our wildlife photography essentially begins before the real adventure begins tomorrow. But yeah, everybody's having such an absolutely fantastic time. But we are not finished yet. Let's head back, pack up, get ourselves organized, and get back out to shooting. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
So folks, we are back from our wonderful river cruise. I didn't do any talking to the camera here because it was loads of people scarred it for me. But what a wonderful experience we had indeed. Beautiful sunset and gorgeous light. Didn't see a huge amount of wildlife, but sure, such is the way of things when you're dealing with nature. Quick pit stop just to then come back, drop some stuff off, and then head out for dinner, and all shall be well. So look, if any of the pictures that I captured in between the beautiful B-roll that you would have just seen turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now. And as we embarked on our sunset cruise this evening, we didn't get to see a huge amount of wildlife. Needless to say, we tried our best, and this lovely little lone crocodile was just chilling out here on the bank. This beautiful hippo was just like, he was looking at us, and I think he was kind of like, I could probably take that boat. I really like this particular image of the bird sitting on the tree. Lovely beam of light just coming in and illuminating that. Really adds a nice kind of bit of depth for me, and I like that about this image. The next one here is just like, it's just a lovely reflection on some water. Well, you can't argue with that kind of stuff at all. Very end, just as we were on our way back to the dock, get treated to a wonderful bunch of elephants that came down to the water, and they they really put on a bit of a show for us, and it was fantastic to watch. This particular image I really like, because just as the sun was setting as well, it broke through some of the haze. It was quite hazy, and it illuminated so wonderfully the dust that this elephant was kicking up. I just wanted to to test the upscaling. You know, these options, they're all over the place now. I was so curious to see how it would bring out the detail in this particular image. This is this last image that we just looked at, but like really heavily cropped in, and I'm quite surprised. So that's a nice little turn of events. I like that kind of upscaling idea and what it can do for you if you are, you know, punching in, particularly for the camera, the Canon that I was using. I think it's only like a 12 megapixel camera if I'm correct. So, you know, having that ability to be able to upscale the images is a big bonus. And then ending off just on a bit of a sunset. This is the sunset that we were looking at this evening, and it was a beautiful boat cruise. I didn't do any talking, as I mentioned, so because I was just a bit too embarrassed, but a beautiful sunset nonetheless. So onwards we shall go, my friends. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this little adventure as we begin now to dig into the actual adventure. This is just a preamble to it all. Tomorrow morning we get collected and then taken across the border into Botswana, and yeah, so then the fun shall truly begin. I've got a wonderful itinerary ahead of us, and everybody's so nice. It makes these things so much more awesome when everybody's super cool and friendly. So gonna quickly head out to dinner, as I mentioned, come back, pack up, and get ready for the morning early start. So anyways, guys, if you like the video, do please give it a like, and of course if you fancy following along for more of the epic adventures to come, you're most welcome to hit that subscribe button. But for now, I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.